This is question 14 on the higher calculator paper. In question 14, the first part says factorize. So here I have just two terms, x squared plus 7x, and I need to factorize it. Now, because they're just two terms and there's no number term, it's going to be one bracket. Now, this particular thing, x squared plus 7x, I could rewrite that as xx plus 7x. Now, what's common to both of them? Common to both of them is the letter x. And if I took an x out from the first, and I took an x out from the second, what's left behind is x plus 7. And so that's what's going to end up inside the brackets, x plus 7. So factorizing that is going to give me x brackets x plus 7. Check it. If you multiply it out, you'd get back the original thing. X times x is x squared. X times 7 is 7x. So I know that is correct. Part B, again, I have something that they want me to factorize, but this particular expression has three terms in there. Y squared minus 10y plus 16. And because it has that number term as well, there's no factor to take out, and that sort of means it's a hint to tell you that it's going to go or factorize to give you two brackets. At the front of each bracket, I'm going to have y and y. I need two numbers that are going to times together to give me 16, right? So think about all possible pairs that you can get. 1 and 16, 1 times 16, 2 times 8, 4 times 4, and that's it. Now, which pairs of these could combine to give you minus 10? Well, 2 plus 8 is 10, and if it was minus 2 and minus 8, that would be minus 10. So that's going to be minus 2, and that there is going to be minus 8. So that's going to be my answer, y minus 2 and y minus 8. Okay, going on to part C. Now I'm going to move the paper up to show all of part C. Okay, looking at part C, this is a similar question to part B. It says factorize, but it's a bit more complicated, just a slightly bit more complicated, this one is, because you've got a number in front of the t squared. But we're going to do it pretty much exactly the same nonetheless. Just a bit more thinking involved in this. 2t squared, so I need two things that are going to times together to give me 2t squared, and they can only be 2t and t. So 2t times t is going to give me the 2t squared. I need two numbers that are going to times together to give me 2, and that's only going to be 1 and 2. 1 and 2 are the only pairs of numbers that I could have that would times to give me 2. So I could either have 1 there and 2 there, or I could have 2 there and 1 over there. Now let's just check and see how this works out. So if it was 1 and 2, then I'll have 2 times 2, which is 4, and 1 times t, which is 1t, and that added together, so 4t add 1t, that will give me the 5t. Let's just check this other one to make sure I haven't made any mistakes. So 2 times t is 2t, and 2t times 1 is 2t, and that adds up to 4t, which is not right. That's not what I want. So I know that the numbers that are going to go in there are 1 and 2, and as a hint, again, for everything in here, because it's all positive, that's going to be plus, and that's going to be plus. So my final result is going to be 2t plus 1 and t plus 2. Okay, so that's my result. I could try to work it out, multiply out the brackets to see if I get this. I'm pretty confident that will be the case. 2t times t is 2t squared. 1 times 2, positive 1 times positive 2 is 2, and in the center, if I did 1 times t, that's 1t, and 2 times 2t times 2, that's 4t, together that's going to give me plus 5t. Okay, going on to part 2. It says t is a positive whole number, so it's a positive number and it's a whole number. The expression that, and actually that's the same as what's up there, 2t squared plus 5t plus 2, can never have a value that is a prime number. Explain why. Well, let's think about what a prime number is. A prime number can only be divided by 1 and itself. So it only has two factors, 1 and itself. So a prime number like 7, yeah, that's going to be 7 times 1. The 1 and the number itself are the only things that could go into it. And looking at these two, if t is a whole number and it's positive, right, then this particular value, this particular expression here, right, will always be bigger than 1, right, no matter what t is. So if t was the smallest possible whole number, you say 0, then this would be 2. And if t was a positive whole number, so t was 1, then this would be 3. If t was 1, this here would be 3 as well. So for both 2t plus 1 and t plus 2, for both of those, they will always be bigger than 1. So because you're timesing two numbers, the answer can never be a prime number. Okay, so because neither of these could be 1, right, and you're timesing together the two numbers, you can never get an answer which is going to be a prime number. Now that last part was particularly complex, but do take your time, look at my solution, make sure you understand it, make sure you could replicate that if you get a question similar to this in your exam.